Hello, it's Gabby here for you. Before we jump onto this week's podcast, I just want to let you know about 2 ways that you can work with me. First of all, I do one-to-one coaching and I do that via Zoom, so we can jump on a Zoom call at a time to suit you. The second thing I've got for you is an online coaching course that's 12 modules that you can download straight away now. There will be a link somewhere around these podcast notes. And this is the course that I've designed, and it's got everything in it that I wish I'd have known when I finished cancer treatment and I was lost. So you can download that course now and you can start working towards making this your happiest and healthiest year ever. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you think. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hello and welcome to Confidence After Cancer. I'm your host, Gabrielle Mottershead, cancer recovery coach. And if you're a woman who's finished cancer treatment, gone back to work maybe, and everyone thinks you're doing brilliantly, but inside you feel anxious, exhausted, disconnected from yourself, or maybe just not quite you anymore, then this podcast is for you. And before we begin, if anything I talk about today resonates with you, I'd love to invite you to book a free confidence clarity call with me. There's absolutely no pressure. It's simply a conversation about where you are now, where you'd love to be, and whether I might be the right person to help you get there. The link is in the show notes somewhere around this podcast. You can book that today and we can speak soon. And today's episode is one that I've wanted to record for such a long time, because I know that so many women are listening to this every week now and quietly wondering, well, would coaching actually help me? What would we even talk about? Is it just chatting? Is it therapy? Would I get upset? Would I cry? Would she tell me what to do? Or maybe, am I struggling enough to need a coach? And if you've ever wondered any of those things, this episode is for you. Because one thing that I've learned after nearly 20 years now as a cancer survivor and many years of coaching women after treatment ends is that cancer doesn't just change your body. It changes your identity. And nobody prepares you for that. Well, it certainly didn't for me. Treatment ends. Everybody celebrates. You're expected to feel grateful. Maybe you get to ring the bell. I didn't, but some people do. You're expected to get back to normal. But inside, you are carrying things that you'd never really spoken about. The fear, the guilt, the anger, perhaps that's very common. The exhaustion, the people pleasing, the feeling that somehow you've lost yourself. And when women first come to me, they often apologise and say things like, well, I'm probably wasting your time, or I really should be over this by now, or I know other people have it much worse than I do. And quite common is for people to say, I don't even know why I'm upset. And I always smile, because almost every woman says exactly the same thing to me. And here's what surprises most people. Coaching isn't about me giving advice. It isn't about me telling you how to live your life, what to eat, what not to eat. It isn't, certainly not about me fixing you, because you're not broken, my love. My job is to help you hear yourself again. Because cancer has a way of drowning out your own voice. For too long, maybe you've listened to doctors, consultants, nurses, family, very well-meaning family, very well-meaning friends who want to help you, employers maybe who've got a different agenda. Everyone has got an opinion about what you should do and what you shouldn't do. But somewhere along the way, your own voice became very quiet. And coaching helps you to find it again. Sometimes we spend an entire session talking about just one sentence. Something like, I don't know who I am anymore. That one sentence can unlock years of emotions, because underneath it might be grief. It might be fear. Quite often there's some resentment there as well. Or it might just be that you want permission to finally admit, I'm exhausted from pretending that I'm fine when I'm really not. And sometimes women expect huge breakthroughs every week, every session that we do together. But honestly, the biggest transformations usually happen through tiny shifts. And that can look like learning to say no. It could look like taking a lunch break. It can look like stopping to apologise or asking for help when you need it. It can look like trusting yourself again. Quite common, it looks like sleeping better because your brain finally feels quieter. It can look like beginning to believe my life can actually look good again. And one of my favourite moments is when a client says to me, I didn't realise how much I'd changed. Not because cancer changed her, but because she started becoming herself again. A stronger version, a kinder version, much kinder to herself. A woman who stops living according to everybody else's expectations. And people often ask me, well, what do you actually coach? And the answer is many things. And I'll give you some of them now. Confidence, identity. I teach boundaries. I coach about fear of recurrence that is so common. Returning to work and all the challenges that can bring. Relationships, perfectionism, people pleasing. I coach self-worth. I coach about purpose. And perhaps the most important one of all is permission. Permission to stop surviving and start living, to start really thriving. And sometimes we laugh, and sometimes we cry, and sometimes we just sit very quietly with something really important lands. And there's no judgment, there's no expectation, but there's no pressure to have all the answers. And you certainly don't need to prepare. You certainly don't need to perform or tell me what you think I want to hear. You simply arrive exactly where you are. And one thing I promise every woman that I work with is that this is your space. It's private, it's confidential, it's not your family's, it's not your employers or your consultants or your healthcare's, it's your space. And perhaps for the first time in many years, everything is about you. And if you've listened to this podcast for a while, you already know that I am very passionate about helping women to rebuild their confidence after cancer. But here's what I really want you to know. You don't have to reach rock bottom before you reach out for support. You don't have to wait until you're having panic attacks or wait until you are burning out, unable to function, or waiting until your relationship is really struggling, or waiting until you've completely lost yourself. Support works best when you stop waiting for permission. So let me ask you a question. What would be different 6 months from now if you just stopped trying to figure this all out on your own? How would you feel? How would you show up at work? How would you show up with your family, with your partner? What would be different? But most importantly, how would you show up with yourself? How would you feel about yourself when you look in the mirror? And if today's episode has spoken to you, I'd love to invite you to book a free Confidence Clarity Call. It's simply a conversation. There's no pressure, no expectation, no obligation. Just two women talking honestly about where you are now and where you'd like life to take you next. And if we're a good fit, then that's wonderful. We can talk about that. And if we're not, you will still leave with greater clarity than when you arrived. I can promise you that. You will find the booking link to make a call in the show notes. So thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this episode has helped you or given you something to think about, I'd really appreciate it if you could follow the podcast, leave me a review, or share it with another woman who might need to hear these words. Because confidence after cancer isn't about becoming the person that you were before your diagnosis. It's about becoming the woman that you were always meant to be. So until next time, stay safe and stay safe. Thanks for listening. I'll speak to you very soon. Thanks, my lovely. Bye-bye.